Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to any newbies here. This is G's Nail Spot and I am G. And to my subscribers, as always, you guys are awesome and I appreciate your support for this channel so much. You are absolute stars. So what am I doing this week? So this video is going to be about tortoiseshell nails, and if you watch my latest sheen video you'll notice I got this tortoiseshell foil which I've been quite keen to use, and just before I received this foil I'd bought some tortoiseshell gel polishers. They're like jelly polishers. So I've had them a little while, not anything with them, but since I got the foil I thought, let's, like I said in the sheen video, let's give them a little bit of a test and see which one we think looks the best. So here are the gel polishers. They're by Senvensky. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they don't have colours on or numbers or anything, so I had to put little numbers on the back, as you can see here, and obviously my OCD means they need to be in the right order. I don't know how they got mixed up, but anyway, I've numbered them. And then I've swatched them just so I can tell which colour I'm picking up rather than having to take the tops off every single time I want to use a colour. So ignore the fact that I've got 1 to 7 on there. In my brain I thought there were 7 polishers, and so I'd already done the swatch pops, whatever you call them. I'd already written on there and then realised there's only 6. Duh. So anyway, you can see they are jelly polishers, so they're see-through, they're sheer polishers, but that's the whole point, so you can kind of layer them and mix them up a little bit to get the tortoiseshell type pattern. Now I've never done this before, so this is totally new. So hopefully we'll see which one we like the best, whether we like the foil version or the gel polish version. So I'm starting off with the gel polishers, and like I say, I've never done this before, so I was just kind of making it up as I went along with the tortoiseshell pattern of that foil in mind. I thought I'd go for this amber colour first as a base colour. It is very ambery. I think that was number 6 that I pointed to. Anyway, so like you say, it's very sheer, but that is the point. But I decided to do 2 coats just to give it a little bit more depth as a base. Okay, so now I'm moving on to another colour, and I will be using that number 1, which is like a chocolatey colour, but I'm going to put some blooming gel on first because I want the splodges that I'm going to put on with that colour to bloom out. I don't want them to be too perfect, they need to be sort of splodgy, so I'm hoping the blooming gel will help the polish to just spread out over the nail a little bit and look more irregular. So I'm going to put some of that dark chocolatey colour onto my palette because I'm going to use a small fine liner to dab it on the nail. Okay, so there's no plan for this. There is no set plan of where I was going to put these blobs. They just need to go anywhere and everywhere, all around the nail, and then let the blooming gel do its thing before you cure it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again, taking some more of that chocolatey colour jelly polish, but this time I haven't used any blooming gel because I want it to have a deeper colour this time rather than spreading out too much. But I'm kind of just going over the areas where I put it before, like I say, just to deepen up those colour sections, so you can see the blobs. Oh, butterfingers. So that one's just been in and it's been cured after putting that second layer of chocolatey jelly polish on there. So now I felt like I needed to sort of give it something to layer it up and just tie it all together. So I'm using that number 4, which is the yellow, and I'm just going to go over the entire nail with this colour to try and sort of meld them together somehow. I just felt they were a bit too separate looking, and I wanted them to all start looking like they were part of the same fabric, if you like. So I'm just putting a very thin layer of that yellow jelly polish on and curing it. And then now I'm going to go back to that chocolate polish and again go back in and deepen those dark splodges a little bit more. Okay, so now I've added some of that extra chocolate jelly polish on, I'm going to take some black polish, and I just got the one that was closest to hand, which is my black liner gel, but it is actually really pigmented, this one, so it's ideal. And I haven't cured that last layer of brown jelly polish. God, how many times am I going to say that in this video? And then I'm just going to take my fine liner and pop some on so it kind of, again, mingles in with that previous polish. But I'm not going over it neatly, I'm kind of going off to one side, I don't know if you can see, so I'm kind of blobbing it on to just off center of those other dark blobs, just to spread it out a bit so it doesn't look too precise, and some bits join up, and just so it looks a bit more of an irregular tortoiseshell pattern really. And then I'm going to cure it. Okay, so that's all the layers of colour on, so now I'm just going to give it a nice top coat, just to smooth it all over, although I kind of wish that I'd done maybe a base coat and a top coat, because then I could have buffed it down, because as you can probably see it's not the smoothest nail in the world, because there's so many layers of splodges on there. It is a little bit lumpy bumpy, but this was my first ever attempt at doing a tortoiseshell nail with the polishers, and so I'm learning for next time. But this was really just a test to see if I could get the tortoiseshell look, and you know what, I don't think that's a bad effort for the first ever time of trying out this technique, this pattern. I don't think I've done a bad job really. It gives you an idea anyway of how you can use that set of jelly polishers. They are available on Amazon, and they're not very much, I think they were about £15 for the set or something, £12 to £15, but that's the kind of effect you can get from them, and I'm sure if I practice a little bit more with them I will get them looking even better. So let's move on to the second way, which is going to be the foil. So first I need to put a base colour down, because as we all know, foil's better if you've got a base colour underneath, just in case any bits don't quite stick or anything like that. At least you've got a colour underneath that's similar to the foil that you're putting on. So I'm layering two different colours on here. Okay, so I've used the number 2 brownie amber, and then I've gone over with the real amber colour before I put the foil glue on. And as always I'm using the Macar foil gel, which I put on there. I will cure for 30 seconds and then I will let it cool outside of the lamp for 30 seconds before I attempt to put the foil on. Now this is attempt 1, which infers that there's going to be another attempt, which also infers that this didn't go to plan. It did not. Just watch.
Three hours later.
So after a heck of a lot of rubbing of this foil to get it off on the nail, I finally pulled it up, and what the Jeff? Nothing. Not even a speck. Nothing had gone onto the nail. Not one tiny bit of foil. And yes, I had it the right way around and everything else, but I just couldn't get it. I mean, obviously I turned it the wrong way then, but I did have it on the right way. But then when I tapped and pulled it off, it started pulling bits off. So it kind of started working, and as you'll see, look, as long as I pressed down with some pressure and then pulled up again, it started pulling bits off. But I do not know what went off there. Can't explain it. It was just a really bad effort. But as they say, you know, if at first you don't succeed, no. You just try and try again. So here's take 2. Did exactly the same process. Put the base colour on, cured it. Then I put the Macart foil glue on, cured it, left it to cool for 30 seconds. Did it again. And yeah, okay, I was rubbing for a long time. Rubbing as you do with transfer foils. And this time I had a slightly different result.
Six hours later.
So as you can see, it actually worked this time. My goodness, there it is. What was the difference between this time and last time? Nothing, no idea. But this time it worked. God knows, maybe it's the temperature in the room. But anyway, here I am putting a top coat on. I mean, it's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I think it's very rare you get an absolute 100% perfect transfer of foil. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, you know, it's not, you know, foils aren't my strongest point. But anyway, with a top coat, actually, I thought that looked all right. I was quite impressed after failing miserably the first time. So here it is. I mean, you can see some tiny little cracks in the foil where it's not quite transferred, but that might have just been my rubbing and getting fed up of rubbing for ages. But even so, I think you could tidy that up with the polishes I used to do the polished version of this. You could just use some of those to tidy up the little cracks and imperfections, and it would look fine. Here they are side by side. So the one on the left is the foil and the one on the right is the gel polish version that I did. And do you know what? I quite like both of them. I think either of them would pass quite comfortably as a tortoiseshell nail design. Like I say, the foil on the left, there's some cracks that you need to touch up. The polishes on the right, I'd need to smooth that out a bit because they're a bit lumpy. But in terms of the actual tortoiseshell pattern, I think they both look pretty good, apart from that one. Blech, get rid of that one. That was horrible, first attempt. But anyway, this is the final result. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, guys. Let me know your comments, drop them down below. Let me know which one you think looks best and any techniques that you've tried for tortoiseshell nails. Please let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.